anything.
Well, now it's time to dive on in. Nouns will start on the CT side here on Inferno. Liquid, clearly expecting some early aggression. Are holding, waiting. And Nouns are not going to give them any. Very passive hold up. Very careful setup. So it's Yekindar finding some space, finding all the space towards top banana. Just trying to bait out this B utility, perhaps.
Yeah, speaking of banana, I really do want to see Nouns contested a lot more aggressively than Boss did, because Liquid just owned that space for the entirety of the first half in the previous matchup, excuse me.
There's the flashbang. It's good, but Skulls is insta-traded. And this could actually be a split in towards B. The Moto player deleted now. Yup, that's exactly the idea. Yekindar still top banana. The question is, what can you get done here, Carson? You know they're coming from both directions, and Twist will not be missing. So now big trouble on for the player who slips in towards Church. It's George. He might be able to get this kill on Katie, and does indeed. Bomb plant can't be denied, as he'll have to wait for his teammate to come back around. And pressing the issue a little early. We'll find the business end of Twist's Glock. It's all on Marky. Coming up banana. Patient on it. And patience rewarded. Still 2 targets to find. Marky closing the gap, closing the distance. Doesn't have a ton of time. Doesn't have a kit either. And NAF will not allow him to touch that bomb.
Well, nicely done from Liquid again on the pistol rounds. We already talked about it. Be that close at the end of it.
They just had literally nothing to lose.
Yeah, Mac 10, you know, that's
they're not bringing the Mac 10 into this round.
I know. 3-0 for Liquid, but here comes the full-on buy-up for Nouns. They are going to have the 4 A1Ss along with the AWP in Junior's hands, and I already talked about Junior being impressive in that last BO3. Let's talk numbers now, though. 45 frags, 78.9 ADR, and a 1.30 rating, the highest-rated player in that game. He also had 15 frags on Mirage in only 16 rounds, almost a frag per round there. It was actually George who was very solid for them with 20 on Ancient, but Carson gets an immediate trade after CJ pokes his head out a little too far, and then Marky gets Skulls. Here we go!
Aggression working beautifully. Yekindar wanted to chase that, wanted to try and punish it, but Carson, man, what a round already for the guy. The big potential threat is that George is alone and doesn't have any utility to stall this out, but Carson's already shifted around to address it. They're bringing another player in as well. Smoke will be out here. There could still be a chance at a bomb plant. But Nouns will try and deny that possibility. Flashbang through. Wow. It's lethal. And so is George.
More good Junior stats, I guess, because he's been so good. He's actually leading the team in terms of flashes thrown per round at 0.95 and also has 0.12 flashes per round. Anything, I know it's hard to tell by saying 0.1, but anything above 0.1 in terms of flashes per round is extremely impressive. And for Junior to do that and also be close to top fragging on the squad throughout this close qualifier is exceptionally impressive. So, even if he's not doing with the off, he's supporting his teammates and setting up plays like that.
I'm more concerned with the push down mid, hide by the smoke, kill the player coming out of sewers, though, personally. That one is all Carson.
I mean, look, one thing that's impressed me for Carson is there was There was a moment in time where we weren't sure who the IGL was for Nouns because they didn't have a clear player who was technically not fragging as much, and that's what is impressive about Carson. He's going to get caught off being a little too aggressive there, but he didn't really change his style of play as he became an IGL. He still was fragging out. He's still doing these crazy aggressive plays that can be a little reckless, but very rewarding if you actually pull it off. But yeah, that's just impressive to me that he's able to take on a new role without it really affecting his fragging ability.
It's translated shockingly well.
Yeah.
Shockingly well. Much more than we necessarily would have expected. CJ's in trouble here. As long as that smoke's up towards long, okay, it fades. I was going to say, he doesn't have anyone to support him. Marky's holding very passively back in towards pit, worried about the apartments approach, so this porch hold could be tough. It's easier, though, when Junior just wins the duel straight up. Oh, the clear's a little sloppy. Little lazy, little presumptuous. Now a nade to chase. Twist is lucky to be alive. Threat is on. CJ wins that exchange, and this is falling apart for Liquid. I want to pressure this pit player. They know he's here, and eventually Skulls will connect. Snappy shooting, but they need this kill on sight. They've not got it. Not at all.
CJ, who's actually been the quietest player, believe it or not, on Nouns throughout this close qualifier at the bottom with, I say only 61 frags. He's still been doing pretty well considering he's at a KDR of still 1, so it's average. But, I mean, he was that player that came into CS2 and was the #1 guy on Nouns. And actually at that time, unsurprisingly, was taking a lot of entry fights, was going for a lot of opening frags. But he's actually taken more of a second man in role now, and I think most of the entry duties are going to Carson and George, which means that his fragging output is going to decrease a little bit. But he's always accepted different roles, and I think he's going to be okay and still be able to contribute in times like that. Nice little multi-kill for him. 3-2 for Liquid, but Nouns have 2 in a row, of course. And this one, well, only a Deagle and a P250 bought up in terms of guns for Liquid. Outside of that, I think there's that flashbang.
Here comes contact. Given a lot of space towards short. I mean, there's a world where this turns into a bomb plant. Molotov gonna stall it. There's a flank coming down mid. The question is, do they get here in time? And the bomb dropped in pit makes that a lot more difficult now for Liquid. So, Twist getting run down. Won't be able to bring anyone along with him. It's clean for Nouns against the Pistols.
And look at the difference in the way Nouns are playing against Liquid on Inferno versus a team like Boss. Boss were almost playing scared at moments. They were always passive, waiting for Liquid to come to them, giving Liquid all the space in the world to set themselves up and get in the right positions. Whereas Nouns, they oftentimes will get right into your face in the early parts of the round, and it doesn't allow Liquid to get their foundation, to get their feet set and going towards their game plan. So that's what Nouns has been really good at. And that banana control is not being given away for free anymore.
No. Yeah, no, that space a little bit more contested. I mean,
Yes.
It helps that they actually have a CT economy.
Yes, that's true, Mike.
That was a sticking point for Boss. It's always tough when you can't get the nades on this map. Flashbang back in. That is a race car peak if ever I've seen one. I reckon I was more used to doing that to people than having that done to him, but the trade is there, and back we go. Okay. Naf overstaying his position on logs. So advantage still on for Nouns, despite the rallying kill from Naf. They're going to bring the hit towards A here. It's long presence for CJ. Marky in the site proper. No one in the pit this time around, so Liquid at least don't have to worry about that.
Still have to clear it.
Slow this down. And look, the flank is starting to develop. George is starting to get antsy on it, so no bailout. They got to commit.
Oh, nice frag.
First kill. Oh, the tick of the Molotov. That sells out CJ. Now the bomb's down in advantage Liquid.
Yeah, Cadian did not waste that opportunity. Insta headshot once CJ's position is given away. Now we have George coming around, looking to go on the retake. Junior supporting on the other end. They're hoping for one immediately, not going to get it. Twists the immediate frag, and that will send Junior packing. He's out of here. Looking to save the AWP. With Liquid finally responding, ending the 3-round run for Nouns.
Keeps them from pulling into the lead as well.
Yeah.
Keeps them from building up too much momentum here.
I think not having the pit player in that situation for Nouns is actually what cost them, along with the fact that CJ's position was given away by the audio cue from the Molotov. So those two things factored in together means Liquid, of course, they got the frags to help them out, but Liquid did a great job of taking advantage of the circumstances.
Trying to change up the look a little bit there.
Yep.
But you're right, it did cost them. See what we've got now. They're going to keep the third player over towards A, at least for the moment. So CJ shuffling something. Maybe just the util. Banana contest here. And George has actually passed it. So was in some risk if they decided to fight through, but discretion is sometimes the better part of valor. Liquid certainly thinks so here. Skulls will not have that option. He is deleted. Erase. Nice peek from Junior, shifting the op around, this time much more aggressively postured towards A. And Liquid headed the other direction as a result. They found the op. Now they're trying to move. Problem is, so's Junior. He's on the prowl. Smoke gonna lock him out. Smoke gonna lock him out. Nope. They're gonna try and do a contact play. And the op is here. They were not expecting that. Smoke is late. It cost them. Wanted to threat on site, but now he's got everybody here in a flanks coming up Banana. Quick as can be. Oh, Marky finds that kill. That drops the bomb. Doesn't matter what Twist does now. He can't get out. He can't get away.
Unreal.
He's surrounded and dropped down.
That was incredible. You saw Liquid panicking a little bit once Junior gets that second frag. You're absolutely right. So Nouns doing their creative accounting. Hey guys, how do we do this? We need to make sure everyone has a nice gun. Carson, here you go, MP9. So, as predicted, Carson going to have to settle for the leftovers here, the scraps.
Yeah, but
it's okay.
He doesn't mind.
No, he doesn't, especially the way he plays, right? He's kind of aggressive sometimes, so the MP9 can be extremely lethal, especially in his hands.
It's just a license to get more in their face. Four players stacked towards B. This is the changeup. This is the look. It's only Marky on this A side of the map. Junior trying to shift over, but there was a moment there. It was a fast apps waterfall where life could have been very difficult for Nouns. As it is now, this triple Banana setup. Looking to catch off Yekindar. They're taking some space towards Car. They're trying to spam for this. This is so dangerous. And that's exactly why. The balance comes out in favor of Liquid. And now pressure on for CJ. And his teammates aren't moving a muscle to help. It's all CJ. They're betting on him. The clear out. Oh, the check the wrong way. But Yekindar again able to trade it. And with the bomb going down with Skulls still here towards A, it seems like it's another save called from Nouns. They got no interest. They've got no interest whatsoever in contesting this.
Yeah, I mean, Yekindar just barely alive with that 5 HP. Just surviving that second duel, which was so important. Yes, the timing. Skulls and Marky just missing each other.
Skulls is just hunting. Skulls just wants guns at this point. He didn't hear any footsteps, right? So he's pretty confident they didn't rotate. Because they would have likely gone loud from A. But he's going to make sure that his teammates aren't going to be in a tough spot. There's the Marky spot. He knows. He knows now. But how far does he want to press this? Junior up top. They're just going to tuck in. And Marky's down for the count. So it is just Junior's op that limps into the final round of the half. A beleaguered Nouns kept it so close for so long, but now Liquid steam ahead. Yeah, they're pulling away a little bit, but a 5th round victory would certainly help Nouns' chances. They go to their better side, the T side, into the second half. They got an op, of course, saved her from their previous round, 3 MP9s of FAMAS, and a good amount of utility, about half the usual amount, so it's something. A chance at victory, and they've pulled off rounds with much less in the past. Skulls, along with Twists, are going for that mid control, and Banana is highly contested. Liquid might actually have to fall back, and they do. Look at the damage they take. Chased off by a nade. Yekindar and Cadian both down to below 40 HP. Carson's jumping around as he usually does. Just spamming through the smoke, hoping to connect on something, but Liquid are forced to reset. They can whittle out more of the CT utility. It wouldn't be bad, though. Nouns are being stingy with the nades. They're holding on to them. Knowing that they don't have a ton to spare. And I mean, actually, in the balance now, they've got the advantage on the util.
This is actually really bold for Liquid to go down banana after losing that space so convincingly and with Carson jumping up the half wall. But they want to give another look.
They want the fight. They want to offset expectations a little bit. There's the Molotov.
41 seconds now.
They're just going to reset. This is going to be a hit. This is going to be an exec. Smoke goes down. They wait the fade. There won't be a lot of time to spare, but the question is, does Junior float over? He's starting to. Might be a tick too late. If the CT Molotov hits it, they don't go for this contact play. Oh, the re-smoke up. Now they got to go through. Now they don't have a choice. Smoke's deployed. Here come the flashes. On they go. Counter flash thrown. Carson is so blind. And George dropped as well. This is a catastrophe. A smoke pop, but it's a bit of desperation. And an exchange there. The bomb must cross. 7 seconds. 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Numbers punched in. What the hell is low? The man advantage, but this duel for KDN might be everything. If Marky can get past that, MP9 might as well be an auto. But that's not a question that Liquid's going to have to answer. It all falls to Junior. There's no saving this up now. Wow. And Yekindar will make sure of that. A team ace for Liquid sends us to the half. Second half on deck, and now we get a chance to see the Nouns offense. But they don't have a lot of wiggle room.
No, I mean, it's not terrible. It could be better. They could definitely come back from this one. There's no question in my mind. And they are on their offensive end, which I mentioned earlier is the one they greatly prefer. And we'll see what Carson decides to call here.
Early stack for Liquid. They want to get aggressive down banana. Carson looking for that fight. Hemmed in towards logs. How heavy do they chase? Well, they've got him now, but that's going to funnel everybody in towards A. And Cadian knows. He's got a few bodies headed his direction. Uh-oh, can't hang on, can't survive. No retake set up here, so it's going to be about the guns. Isn't a kid either, so for Liquid, they need to get a move on. This bomb's not planted yet. They are losing every single fight. Marky takes 3, and it's going to be Nouns all the way.
Wow, that was just such a good reaction from Nouns. As Carson goes down, he sees a couple of players into this round, so they're going to have 3 MAC-10s, an AK, and a Galil bonus round, so an opportunity for Liquid to strike. But if Nouns get this one, oh boy, Liquid are going to be in a little bit of trouble. And you see that fast-paced play that Nouns are bringing forth right now. Liquid can't really respond to it. Yes, we are still in the early moments of this half, and it is the first time they have M4s in their hands. But Nouns, like I said, once they get that momentum, they continue to push forward. Look where Cadian is. He's already pushed down to the bottom of mid. Carson doesn't expect it. Actually, not. Cadian's got such a spot. Oh, Skulls will go down, though.
Like I've had armor there, costing him, I believe. They get a kill back. Still man advantage for Liquid. Not a ton of map control here for now, so Marky is working on changing that.
I don't think he saw Cadian.
I don't believe so. But they're gonna head this way. Cadian, is this deep enough that the silencer doesn't give it away? They have mollies. They just have to check one. Nope, they won't. Bomb now dropped. Now the molly comes out. Cadian will be taken down, so 1v2 for Marky.
2 1v1s maybe. Sorry, Mike.
Perhaps. He's getting flanked out, though. Player coming down mid. He's thunderfooting it, but it's a fake. It's a fake, but the timing's not good. Oh. Naf will have him. No chance for Marky to pull that one off. I like the idea, but just not quite enough time.
Yeah, and I mean, if he had continued going forward and maybe just held the angle towards banana, perhaps he would have just had that frag and then been able to go towards the B site, realizing that it would probably be empty. Instead, he goes for a fake rotation, which, again, you're right. It's a good plan, just the timing was not right. Liquid do, in fact, win on what was Nouns' bonus round, but now Nouns will have the AKs across the board, and Junior is going to run the op. Of all the players competing in this close qualifier, I should say, of all the oppers, he's the one that surprises me least running an op on Inferno. He's been proven to be quite effective throughout all of his frags when he's very dynamic with that AWP and pushing up and getting in players' faces. So let's see if he can do it again. A little exposed right now as he's pushing up mid. His riflers are actually nowhere nearby, so they won't be able to help him should someone push out here, but he does have support from Carson now.
Yeah, now there's plenty. Now there's plenty, but it's also a strong setup for Liquid. 3 sets of eyes, ready to swing, ready to fight. First one on. Counter molly up.
Nope, miss flash there by George.
Oops. He's got another one. Try it again.
Oh,
but the nade's going to find Carson. The longer they stall out here, the more utilities headed their way, and now smoke as well at that. So Nouns have just been rebuffed.
Yeah, Liquid's pacing the utility
get active,
really well.
And it ain't happening. Whoa, the flick around. Thought to his had him dead. The right's had the dink. George is just too dang quick. Now Katie and Wary trying to get an angle so that George can't get collapsed on by the apartments. There's the kill on the first, the second as well. Skulls somehow turning that into 2. They hold on to Pit. It's just Junior with that op. And with 14 seconds, we know what Junior's going to do here. He's going to keep that op alive.
He's got the best rating in terms of deaths per round, I think, in the close qualifier, because he just saves so much. And he's very effective at doing so. Anyway, aside from that, Liquid, have 10 now, double-digit rounds. Yes, series. He had 115 frags, plus 32 kill-to-death differential, and a 1.39 KDR. Also led the team in headshot percentage at 58%. And, I mean, the only player he's behind is Naf, and Naf was only 6 frags ahead, and also plus 6 more in kill-to-death differential. So, yeah. And, I mean, arguably, Skulls has some very tough work that he's had to deal with. I'd say Naf as well, but Skulls anchoring down some of those sites. He gets tough work. He gets tough jobs.
Seems like they want to approach bracket here, but this is, again, a 4-player setup with plenty utility. This is where Nouns stalled out prior. The counter nades, flashbang through, pressure on. Oh, it's a TK. Little confused about how that exactly went down. But the end will be a nice result for Liquid. Maybe a little bit of an over-rotation here for Katie, and he's going back. He actually was correct. Just tough to fully commit like that. Junior down to dust, and, well, Carson, even if he gets this site, he's not got the bomb. He's got the op, though. Now let's see what he can do. A lot of ground to cover. 45 seconds to do it, and they're hunting a little aggressive. What is happening here? Now we'll finally spray. And we're live in the server mirage between Nouns and Liquid, and Nouns are wasting no time with this B play. They're going straight in towards the site, and it seems like it might just be NAF to receive them.
Yeah, and let's not forget what happened yesterday, of course. Nouns winning here 13-3. It was utter and total domination of Liquid. And of course, Liquid do not want to repeat of that at all. Yekindar gets the opener, but here's George finding the immediate trade. Yekindar waiting in the open and manages to get another one. Trades are going back and forth, and finally the advantage is in Nouns' hands.
Assassin with that USP, but now it's on to Twist to be much the same. Katie stocking the shelves. And he's scanning the barcode on Carson. It's all in the marking now. On the site, might have just enough space if he just wants to commit the bomb plant down, but oh, what a slick movement. Looking like they're just one man stacked on top of each other, and the kill comes through, so pistol round on for Liquid.
Wow, that one looked like it was trending in Nouns' direction. I think the worst part about it is that Nouns don't get a bomb plant out of that situation, which I feel like they had time to do it. They were just looking to get a little... He is here.
Hopefully not a long story. Personally, I prefer short stories.
Yes.
You know, don't have the attention span for it at this point. So we should be getting them right back in, and indeed the timer will tick on down. Whatever the issue, it's been resolved. What do Nouns want to show us in this one? Could get a bit of a techie roundup. Two techies, 3 techies. There we go. Give me more techies. I believe.
Liquid just look more confident right now versus Nouns here on this map than they did at any point yesterday, taking the aggressive fights, winning those fights as well. Not that they weren't being aggressive yesterday, they just kept losing them time and time again. Smoke's going to get tossed here for a potential A hit. It looked good. Does it matter? It does not. Kindar, Skulls, and Cadian, and then Twist at the end, taking care of it.
All right, put on a clinic here. Looking sharp early on our Liquid, and I mean, certainly it's going to help with the long-run economy to just not drop anything up against that. Very few deaths on the Liquid side. We're 4 rounds in. There are 5 deaths in sum total, so that is nice for bolstering the capital. Junior's got the op, though, and he can be a difference maker. Only problem is, sometimes he waits to do that difference, those teams are all dead.
Yeah.
Kind of need him to potentially be a little more active this time than he was on Inferno.
I mean, yesterday he was great here on Mirage. He was very active, going for early fights, so, I mean, they need more of that to come through. Twists. Takes a little bit of damage, and you saw Yakinder looking for a fight towards mid. In fact, Liquid have 4 players committed towards this mid fight. Yeah.
They're going to back away from it now. But they really wanted the early brawl, and they have disrupted Nouns. They've slowed them down, because this was the intention of Nouns, is to take this middle space and then work with it. And Liquid are sticking around with 4 players as well, so... Smoke up, this could be timely. Hold the peek over!
Wow.
That's cheeky from Katie, and they'll hear him running off. Oh, Marky's gonna catch him. Molotov kicks, but now Marky's got the space. Caught him with a molly in hand. That's the bomb dropped in con. Marky deleted. This heavy presence
Oh,
here.
Skulls,
really
relax.
putting down his comrade in arms. But it all falls to George. No harm, no foul. And Skulls will even polish off the last as the bloodlust clears and his vision returns.
Jeez, Twist was probably seeing his life flash before his eyes like, Skulls, what are you doing? And that's one of those moments, I think, when...
Look, the last time I was in Dallas, I actually ran into Katie and his team at the time at a barbecue spot that I guess I was that I think Maui had recommended to him, because that was the reason I was there. And all I'm saying is that barbecue was incredible, John. So I think
Dallas
Cadian's
good,
ready to go back.
Yeah, it's thinking about the food. Probably a little more than that, but yeah, certainly. Skull's going to get one. CJ with a ripper of a trade, although he takes a lot of damage. I think the off through the wall got him, and then Twist finishes the job. Twist looking for a follow-up again. Another multi-kill for him. Not in the cards this time, says George. He's going to jump around. Could isolate Cadian, and he does.
Nice
3v2. Here we go. Maybe the first
Explosive
round
round from George. Nav has to reposition. There's so much money on this Liquid side that I might as well give this the look. Bomb's going to be down, but even if they get kills, it's worth it. Even if the retake isn't so successful. Just an absurd amount of money they're sitting on. Naf doesn't seem to agree with me. Wary of it, but I think he's getting the comms now. They're telling him, look, it doesn't matter if you die, just go. Get exits. That's still worth. Ikindo doesn't need to be told twice. He's always ready to fight, and well, he will not get this kill. It might be tough for George to stay alive here. Half holding the line. Oh, but George will hit a ripper of a shot. 4 in the round. Beautifully done. Great work from George. That's what Nouns need for a little bit of explosive play.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of George, surprisingly, he was 18-13 on Inferno. I didn't realize it myself until I looked at the stats. And 102 ADR with a 1.36 rating, the highest rated player on the map, even though they lost 7-13. So, I mean, look, he has continued to be impressive, right, throughout this close qualifier. I'm so excited to see him. We talked about it yesterday, being more dynamic, being more involved in plays, and kind of the leash just being completely undone from him. So we'll see if he can continue to do that here on their T side, as Nouns need a huge recovery. And yeah, Skulls almost gets his skull taken off.
That's a nice nade. Poor CJ. Eats that. But Yekindar checked in jungle. Now this is an interesting brawl. Ooh, this spam really finds Skulls. Does George go? He goes back to it. Had to reload. Don't know if he knew he had the tags, but apparently enough to try it once more. And at this point... Well, again, there's money to spare, but at some point you got to start thinking about the long game. There's still rounds to be played this half.
That's a wicked shot.
Who's that? Now the top mid player activates.
What?
Twist's finding a kill is just going to allow him to save this AWP. Got the double up as well. Naf picking up that secondary, so that's an expensive habit to maintain.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, the only reason in this situation to save would be for the double ops to keep them alive. And if they're 2 rifles, maybe they can go in a little more aggressively. But yeah, keep the double op going. Another great round from George. 2 openers onto the A site. Gets the space his team needs, and Skulls was just trapped in a corner. He couldn't find his way out, and George just went back to the spam, like you said, and that's what gave them the space and confidence to continue moving to the A site. So, second round found for Nouns. This half is not out of recoverable territory for them.
No, not at all. And I mean, we talked about it with Nouns. We always talk about it with Nouns. Momentum is so important for this team.
Yes.
Now they got a little bit. Now they've started rolling down the hill. Let's see if this boulder can pick up steam. There's still ground to cover, but as we know, once they get going, they're hard to stop.
Just need Carson and CJ to get going, or actually everyone except for George needs to get going. I mean, because
actually
he's
interesting
the one...
here that you've got 3 players without head armor, because there is a Galil on the other side. So let's see if Marky makes them regret the lack of hats.
I mean,
Snap is going to be tested with the AWP. We don't see the NAF that often. It's actually Twists who's been picking up as the secondary more often on this team.
Yes, it is.
But on Mirage as the B anchor, there's Naf. Going to connect the first shot. He's got support from Yekindar as well, but it's only going to be one. That's a ripper from Carson. Looking for more, looking for this fight, looking for this brawl. Laying around the windowsill, but laser focused on Cat. He won't expect Twists to have worked his way out, and Twist is so far forward. Junior's not ready for this brawl. How would you expect him to be Van already? So down he goes for free. Marky might just follow. A chase on, but teammate at hand, and Twist won't need the help.
Jeez. That's some great maneuvering by Twist, right? I mean, he gets to Van. Like you said, Junior had no idea because he was busy just trying to locate targets and actually did a nice shot before that. But how can you possibly think that a player is going to sneak up on you and already be in that position? There was nothing Junior could do. Afterwards, maybe Marky's able to recover, but that doesn't happen either. And he swiftly finds his way out of that round. 8-2. Timeout going to be called from Nouns. We thought maybe a little bit of a run was going to materialize, but with Liquid winning so decisively there, it's, well, problematic for Nouns to say the least. Looking at Twist scoreline as well, by the way, 14-2 with a 138 ADR. I talked about how well he's been playing at Connector, but I mean, in that round, just very, very solid. And I mean, holding the ground so well at the B site. Now it's going for the force up. I mean, being the scoreline that it is, you have to try something. You can't just keep surrendering rounds.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're really just trying to battle for these last 2. Gotta get something going. Twist has been having a lethal game here, John. I mean,
yeah.
Last round, a nice indicator of it.
Geez.
He continues to collect here. Oh, they're not clearing the belt. And actually, the op connecting means that Skulls can wait further. Marky's aware, at least, but that just sets up his Opera. That sets up Cadian to rip elbows out of arms. Wow, that went just as quick here for Liquid. They're leaving no room to doubt in these rounds. They are dominating Nouns right now, shutting them out of sights, shutting them out of bomb plants. How many bomb plants have we even gotten for Nouns this half?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't recall that
0.
many. Yeah.
Maybe one. I mean, one in one of the rounds that they won. Another one was via elimination. So let's assume they planted them in the 2 rounds that they won.
It's been really convincing. Yeah, in the 2 rounds they won, they got the bomb plant because remember Liquid was retreating, right, to the opposite sides. So they definitely got 2 bomb plants. But in all the rounds that Liquid have won, I don't think they've really had to defuse any bomb. Yeah, it's been elimination.
Dominant then. Twist continuing to show that dominance. He's still alive somehow. In the meantime, Yekindar chasing this op down, you madman.
It's Twist.
Through the Molotov. The ball here for Liquid as they made short work of Nouns in that first half, not even letting them onto bomb sites more often than not. Nouns backs up against the wall. A dire circumstance. Their map pick where they 13-3'd Liquid just yesterday. And now all the work to do, John, if we're going to have a series here.
I mean, that was Nouns' strong side on T side too. And they're going on to their weaker CT side. I don't know, Mike. Not to mention, okay, Junior, nice little tap out of Katie. I was going to say, not to mention how good Liquid have been on their pistol rounds. Nice shot from Marky. Bomb's going to get planted, though. So it is a retake. That is on.
Money's made. Now I've thought about lobbing the flash out, but they actually just gained the space without it. Guy's in kind of a weird spot here. It is a fight from Ticket. Marky holding very passive, expecting some sort of a jungle play. Here comes the contact. First one found, a second as well. Great impact there. Considering he's just kind of out in no man's land, but it's all going to fall to Skulls. His position's now known. The bomb is being tapped, and it will be defused. So, a much-needed pistol round. But a bomb plant means they're not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, it's some really good... George, along with Junior, having the impactful plays. Can they keep it up and pull this one back to at least a tied scoreline? Liquid, not enough money for the AWP, so it's just going to be the rifles across the board. Full body armor available to them as well. Marky peeking around. He's going to toss that Molotov for top mid because he doesn't know if anyone got behind the boxes yet. And well, if they haven't, they certainly won't be now.
It is interesting to see the difference here in terms of how heavy the mid focus was early on for Nouns. A little bit more spread for Liquid. As I say that, though.
Hello? You kinder.
Unfortunate molly spread. Just kept going. And thought he was safe. These CS2 mollies, they'll chase you.
Yeah. You gotta give them their space.
Look at this. Heavy emphasis here. On towards A, but with no vision in mid. They're starting to get a little panicky. George is rotating to compensate, but only into the window, not all the way over towards B. And this does want to finish A, based on the posturing, based on the bomb. 55 seconds. A swing back out. Yekindar spotted. Lobber of an HE to try and punish. And well, he will be found. The trade is there. And now Twists coming up the underpass. That was, a bit of unfortunate timing here. The bomb needs to get out. Naf's alone, just trying to walk out onto his A. The players were stuck, trapped. They couldn't escape. It was disjointed. And now Liquid are going to be sitting on a Cadian save with 30 seconds to go.
I mean, they have not been able to do anything at all. Even with the rifles out, Nouns have continuously shut them down. What a turnaround from that first half. An 8th round already secured here with only 10 seconds left. Cadian on the save, money abysmal for Liquid. I mean, yes, they do have the full loss bonus of 3,400, so they can opt to force up, but I would imagine they're going to be patient and wait a little bit longer. You do have the money situation for Cadian that's a little bit weird because it saves the AK, so maybe that would be a reason to force up here. But even then, just consider it a hero AK. They did it before with Twists. And then buy some pistols around it. Maybe a little bit of util too. They're going to talk this over, of course. There's a pretty critical juncture with Nouns reducing the deficit from 8 rounds to 2. Will be exactly that. Half buy with pistols and util around the AK. Cadian, the one using it? Yes, Mike.
Do they pick up the pace? Is my big question.
I think they kind of have to. If they call a timeout here, just to talk it over and make sure that they, get exactly what they need in terms of utility. And okay, it's all right. They have the quick thinking on their hands. 2 Galils, a MAC-10, 2 AKs, and Skulls with no util, but Yakindar's got a full belt. We'll see if that's enough for them. On the other side, though, Nouns having won every single round in this second half will have plenty of cash to work with, full belts of util, exactly the buy-up they could hope for. So let's see if Liquid can rebuff them once more. Skulls, there's the opener. Takes a lot of damage, but an insta trade from Carson. That said, they're still going to push in. Carson's not expecting this. The A site is vacant, and Liquid are moving in.
They got the space. They've got the ground. There's no one ticket. A bomb plant very likely here. Trying some blunders, and Twist is going to have some forward positioning, trying to get back in towards Con, where he had so much success in the first half. This now just late on the rotate. Naf found the timing. Completely unexpected here. And now Nouns are in trouble. I hope when he plays into their hands, he'll do so. But Marky
Wow, Neff.
won't be able to overcome it. Now fighting around the murder hole, making it live up to its name. And this is going to be a save on. This is going to be map point, series point found for Liquid. They've waited till late to make a game of this, but a game they have found.
Wow. I mean, that's
One
all
round for Dallas, John.
Yeah, 1 round, and they're set. They got to book their tickets for Dallas and get on the planes once it starts, of course. But I mean, that's not Yukinder, but Skulls, who came out immediately, wins the opening duel, right? Gets that first one. Yes, he gets traded, but that's exactly what Liquid needed, because the ticket presence is gone. And you only have Carson at connector, who decides to overcommit into mid afterwards and try to collapse there, perhaps expecting Liquid to rotate there themselves and maybe get the advantage. But no, instead, they get the A site, which Nouns have conceded to them in the past. In the early parts of this half, and you saw they were very effective on the retake. That time, Naf, with some timely peaks, took the window control. You talk about Murder Hole, where he just was not going to be able to give up any space at all. And now Twist going to get the opener here. George finds the trade, and they're already on to the B center. Liquid. Skulls gets the headshot onto CJ. Naf finds Marky. It could be over here.
It's looking like it. A curtain of utility as well. They can't even get into this contest. They can't get into this retake. Junior trying to cross, gets peppered down. It's all onto George. Just 50 seconds lie between Liquid and a spot at the Intel Extreme Masters Dallas 2024. Skulls on this smoke fade might be able to punch their tickets. Might be able to lock them in to the most prestigious event in North America. And he